At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our Summa Cum Laude speaker for the class of 2023, Martha Chang. Martha is the daughter of Esther Lee and Bong O. Chang. She will be studying economics at Northwestern University. Martha has participated in the Jeffersonville High School girls tennis, band, and was a class officer from her freshman to junior year. She's a member of our National Honor Society. She was selected to participate in the Leadership Enterprise for Diverse America, which is a 5-week summer institute program at Princeton University, where she engaged in college readiness and educational clinics, which allowed an in-depth learning opportunity. She's a 2023 Rising Star of Indiana. From the Community Foundation of Southern Indiana, she was awarded the Jeffersonville J.C. Scholarship, the Norman Kratt Scholarship, and the Joyce Ellingsworth Scholarship. And from the Lincoln Foundation, she was awarded the President's List Scholarship. It is my pleasure to introduce Miss Martha Chang.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Martha Chang, and I am honored to address the commencement speech for the Jeffersonville High School class of 2023. Recently, I have been writing cards to as many classmates as I could, but unfortunately, I could not get to everyone here. As I have this chance to speak to you all, I am happy to be up here and express my gratitude to everyone. Some of you may know that I have traveled to many states across the U.S. I would like to clarify today the meaning behind the many road trips I have made with my family. The purpose behind most of our road trips was to reach out to ex-POW veterans from the Korean War to pay our respects to them. As a child, I used to complain to my dad, why can't we go on our normal vacation like other kids without meeting random people that we don't know? Spending nights in the car and traveling to far places to meet elderly people didn't seem to click in my small head at that time. Growing up, I was raised in a household where we valued gratitude towards America. Dating back to the late 1940s, my grandparents escaped from North Korea because of the Christian persecution by the communist system. My grandparents always emphasized to my dad the significance of America's sacrificial role towards the Republic of Korea. So when my dad moved to America, he decided to give back to American elders by singing at nursing homes and at churches. As a Korean immigrant descendant, I learned to realize a valuable lesson: the importance of respecting our previous generations for their hard work, that there is goodwill in serving others. I am very grateful to be living in a country that protects the freedom of other nations as well as their own people. I want to highlight my gratitude for having an opportunity to live in America. The U.S. has defended the freedom of many nations, including themselves. They have sacrificed much for the world, and this was not without cost. From 1950 to 1953, Korea's freedom and democracy were on the line. Despite the gravity of the tensions, Americans did not turn a blind eye. They fought bravely and defended a nation that they never knew and never met. Around 35,000 American soldiers sacrificed their lives, and more have suffered the aftermath injuries of the war, mentally, physically, and emotionally, all for world peace. Today, I would like to introduce Mr. Herman Neville Jr., who is with us. Mr. Neville served in the U.S. Army, and he was a POW who fought in the Korean War. As my family has visited him a couple of times, he has told us about his fight and resilience during the war. Mr. Neville became severely wounded amid the ongoing combat. He had multiple shrapnel wounds to his head, chest, and arms. He became blind in his left eye, and his right collarbone splintered. Despite his efforts to flee from the enemy, he was caught, his shoes and dog tag taken from him, and he was captured and sent to a labor camp along with many other captured soldiers. He described the suffering of his comrades and the soldiers that he had met at the labor camps. The soldiers only wore their summer uniforms on the cold ground, many starving and freezing to death. For 3 years, Mr. Neville had suffered for the lives of Korea and for the honor of America. Today, we are honored to have Mr. Herman Neville Jr., his wife, Mrs. Marcella Neville, and their family with us. Mr. and Mrs. Neville and your family, could you stand up, please? This year, Mr. Neville is 93 years old, and that is amazing. On behalf of the Korean people, I would like to thank you deeply. We salute your noble service and sacrifice. Thank you. I would also like to introduce another Korean War veteran, the late Mr. Darren Keith Blackwell. He had served in the U.S. Air Force during the Korean War. He passed away on September 28, 2021. During the war, he was dropped behind enemy lines and spent weeks finding ways to get back to South Korea after completing his mission. The bombing at his airbase killed most of his comrades that he was with. Today, we are honored to have his wife, Mrs. Karna Blackwell, son, and daughter-in-law with us. Mrs. Karna Blackwell and your family, could you stand up, please? On behalf of the Korean people, I would like to thank you deeply. We salute his noble service and sacrifice. Thank you. Another contribution the U.S. made was to send various missionaries to Korea. Many people dedicated their lives to building schools and hospitals for modern education and democracy. Their efforts laid the foundations for a free country. I would also like to honor Mr. Eric Blackwell and Mrs. Jennifer Blackwell, the son and daughter-in-law of the late Mr. Darren Keith Blackwell, for being missionaries to Korea in the 1980s. Mrs. Blackwell is the special needs teacher at Jeff High, who has been teaching my younger sister, Joan Chang, who has Down syndrome. My family would like to thank you as Korean descendants for opening opportunities for us to follow in the previous footsteps of many Koreans who were educated by American missionaries like you. Thank you. I take this opportunity to give thanks to all the American veterans and their families, those who have fought to defend the freedom of the world. As I have mentioned earlier, America has sacrificed much for the world. It is not just Korea that advanced to liberty, but many other countries. As the president of South Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, declared in his recent speech to the U.S. Congress, those who cherish freedom also respect the freedom of others. Because the core roots of America are upheld by this value, it is you and I that are living in the peace and prosperity today. As someone who was born at only 2 pounds, receiving medical and educational benefits, and being able to stand here today, which is truly amazing to me, is through the generations of hard work in this society. I believe that my purpose in life is to reach out to the community as a future economist. I have been grateful to have this objective set ahead of me. This has been the anchor that has allowed me to not lose focus on my goal, despite the distractions, negativities, and discouragements. As a part of the community, I believe that everyone has a duty, a responsibility to work just as hard as those who worked before us with a thankful heart. We, who receive those benefits, can live and study to our full potential. As a fellow graduate, I hope everyone finds their respective purpose and pursues that with gratitude, responsibility, and resilience, fulfilling it not as a wish, but as a reality. So, have confidence in your plans, trust in your process, and be brave in your risks. As we move forward together, let's contribute to building a world that passes opportunities onto future generations. Without the sacrifices and dedications of those we don't see and those we do see, we would not be sitting here at graduation today. Let's recognize the tremendous support we received from those around us. On behalf of the class, we would like to thank the faculty, teachers, police, firefighters, bus drivers, administrators, the community, and especially to our families who have supported the academic journeys of the class of 2023. To show our gratitude to the people who made an effort with their time and energy for us, class of 2023 graduates, would you please stand up to give a round of applause? You may be seated. And personally, I want to say thank you to the class of 2023. I'm thankful for the encouragement, laughter, and all the memories. I'm excited to see you all reach your goals in the future. And finally, please allow me to say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who has helped me overcome obstacles and opened many opportunities for me. May God bless you all. Thank you.